Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the fire signs and their twin flame connection. Twins, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Twins, I hope that you're doing well. If you are unsure of what a twin flame journey is, I have included a link to Gabi Kovalenko's full-length explanation on the twin flame journey in the description box below. In a nutshell, a twin flame journey involves two people who share the same energetic soul. They are part of an unbreakable bond and take this twin flame journey together to really come closer to themselves. Actually, it's a connection where two people are the mirrors to one another. They trigger one another, and oftentimes there is a runner-chaser dynamic and a separation period. During that separation period, twins go through a dark night of the soul. They discover their spiritual gifts and hopefully raise their consciousness, their vibration, and use their gifts to help humanity. I often call it a really tall order. Being a twin flame is not for the weak. I am a twin flame. I was in separation from my twin for 7 years, no contact for 5. I just recently came into union with my twin this year, but I was in that journey for a long time, and I'm still in the journey. I do have to say that when you come into union with your twin, if that is something that you desire, the triggering does not stop. The learning and growing and maturing, it does not stop. It's just that you have discovered so much about yourselves while apart that the connection allows itself to come together because you're in a space of maturity. So which is not to say that twins and separations are not mature. It's just saying that you are a lot stronger than you think you are. And sometimes it feels like your twin has all the answers, that they are the key to your lock, that they are the missing piece. And the whole point of the twin flame journey is to realize that you are not missing any pieces, that you are whole and divine all on your own, and that your twin is just like this beautiful soul that's like the cherry on top of your entire life. Even when they're triggering you, they are your biggest teacher, and you are theirs. I'm going to be using 2 decks for your reading today. The first will be from the Heart Path Oracle deck, and for your tarot reading, the Rosebud Tarot. The cards have been pre-shuffled. I'm going to be doing this reading a little differently than I have with my past twin flame readings. I'm just going to get one overall energy for the connection, and then I'll have a pile for you, a pile for your twin, and a pile for the advice from Spirit. This is for the fire signs and their twin flame connection. Angel, spirits, guides, what messages do you have for the fire signs and their twin flame connection? Beautiful. Twin, beautiful. This is not a twin flame deck. I just want to point that out to you. This is not a twin flame deck specifically, but you got the twin flame card. It's so gorgeous. I'm so happy for you. Twin energies, reconciliatory union, strengthen your commitment. That is absolutely outstanding. Maybe some of you are very close to union with your twin. And if that's the case, then congratulations. Not because your twin is coming towards you, but because you've made peace with so much within yourself. You can see the mirroring energy here, the face-to-face. Neither one, like, no one is higher, no one is being put on a pedestal, coming together as equals. We can see the sun energy in the background illuminating everything. I feel as though these kind of pods here are different experiences, different memories in which you became that butterfly, right? It's almost like a lot of death and rebirth energies, a lot of cycles that you had to close out and learn from and be reborn from. And your twin is mirroring you. You know, even if you're, because sometimes the twin flame journey is very inconvenient, right? In fact, it's tremendously inconvenient at times when, especially if you've met your twin flame and they are already in a high level commitment, or you are in a high level commitment, right? It's hard to separate out our desire for physical earthbound union from the spiritual union. But this feels like the spiritual union. That there is this beautiful equalizer. Because I'm seeing, you know how on stereos they have the equalizers, that they show the bass and the treble and all the frequencies in between. I feel that fluctuation happening. And I feel as though it's like all of the levels are coming to balance right now between both of you on an energetic level. The space where you can see each other as equals, and that there can be this like calm. Because sometimes in the twin flame journey, it feels like we're almost in competition with our twin, which that doesn't make any sense, but that's how it feels. That we sometimes, and you know, that can come from an ego-centered space, like we have to show our twin that we're making something of ourselves while we're in separation from them. It's only when you get to the point where you just kind of stop caring about what your twin thinks and you just focus on what it is that you think and feel, it allows your twin the space for them to do the same. And I always like to tell people, you want your twin to succeed because you're mirrored souls, you're connected, you're bonded. When they succeed, you succeed. And I will tell you something, as I've come into union with my twin, it's really, really weird. We have both experienced up-leveling with our careers within the same period of time. That's not a coincidence. It's almost like, you know, he experienced this beautiful up-leveling, and then really shortly after I did too. And it's like, well, and that was not something that I asked for. It just happened to me. And I can't help but wonder. I mean, I don't really have to wonder. I already know why. That when your counterpart succeeds, you succeed. When your counterpart struggles, you struggle. Sometimes it can feel like you're carrying the journey all on your own. And I don't have anything that I can tell you that makes that feeling go away. All I can tell you is that you're stronger than you think you are. You're not carrying your twin. You're kind of carrying what your twin mirrors back to you. Right? So if they're feeling kind of fear of commitment, you have to kind of deal with the consequences of that, and vice versa. Not whatever connection that they're in, but just the fear of it. That's something that the after effects of it strikes you. And so you have to then go into the space of prayer or meditation and ask yourself, what is it that is triggering me right now? What is it that is triggering them right now? And how can we calm ourselves and be in the present moment and focus on the now, focus on what's going well, manifesting for ourselves? Because the thing about twins are here for divine purpose, right? There's no doubt about it. I have met several twins, not a lot, but the twins that I have met, they know that they have power. They know it. They have divine powers, psychic powers, telepathic powers. They can speak to spirit. They can see things. This across the board. I promise you. I know when I've met a twin flame. I also know when I've met somebody who thinks they're a twin flame and they're not. They're a karmic partner with somebody. There is a very specific difference. And that difference is one that is, it's not just about being entangled, enmeshed, and obsessed with somebody, right? It's about like recognizing somewhere in the mix that you have a lot of learning to do that is separate from that person, right? The karmic partner is somebody that is karmic with you, and then it's just this like very toxic connection. Whenever I speak about my twin, it's just like, even though I felt a lot of pain from our separation, my twin was never disrespectful to me. He's never abusive. He was never degrading, ever. If anything, he didn't think that he was good enough. And maybe part of me thought the same for myself. So there are very distinct differences between karmic partners and twin flames. And anyone who is outside of the twin flame journey cannot understand that. That's why I do these readings. If you're not a twin flame, it's very hard to understand. It's very hard to explain. It's very hard for me to explain it to other twins, and here you are. It's very hard to describe it. It's something like it's like in the very fiber of your being that you know that you have come face to face with your counterpart. It goes beyond words. It goes beyond earthly feeling. Language falls very short. Language is very poor when it comes to trying to describe the profundity of your connection with your twin. So then it just seems like, well, how do I talk to my twin? If it's so difficult to describe, think about how difficult it is to talk to your twin and describe it to them, especially if they're the runner and they don't want to hear it. Well, it's like you don't even have to try. Eventually, they will figure it out. They will know. They will be drawn back to you. You don't have to prove it to them. They already know. They're just pushing it aside if they're the runner. So I'm going to get 2 cards for you, 2 cards for your twin, and 2 cards for advice from Spirit. I am only reading uprights in this series. One more. Okay, that's interesting. One extra card came out, number 19, the Sun. I'm going to take this as part of your overall energy. Don't give up, twins. The Sun is Leo energy. So Leo, you showed up in your own reading. The Sun is arguably, or inarguably, the best card in the tarot. It reveals divine illumination, clarity, warmth, life-giving energy, abundance in all of its forms. Look at that, these kind of arms outstretched in victory, showcasing everything. It's almost like Spirit is shining the spotlight on you and your twin, but also saying to me, you are the light. You yourself are the light. It's like, this is the divine, God, the universe. Look at these two. Look at how beautiful they are. Look at what they create together. Can you see it? Can you see how extraordinary this connection is? Do you understand how profound this connection is? How important their work is, what they're doing on Earth, how they're helping people, right? It's all about, when you figure out what it is your gifts are. Now, they don't have to be like psychic or telepathic gifts, even though you definitely have those. Twins, all twins have these. But let's just say, I don't know why, but I'm seeing Tony Hawk. I see Tony Hawk. Maybe your name is Tony, Anthony, I don't know. First name, last name. Maybe Hawk is your first name, last name. I don't know. Tony Hawk, famous skateboarding phenomenon, athlete, overall cool guy. You cannot tell me that that man did not find his purpose in life. His purpose in life wasn't just to be a like world-class, awesome athlete, skateboarder. Yes, those things and more. But because of those things, he is an absolute inspiration to multiple generations of children, young kids, even adults, who see his example and want to emulate his example. That man found his calling. But he's an athlete, right? He's not, I mean, maybe he does charity work. I'm sure he does some kind of charity work because he's Tony Hawk. But we have this idea in our minds sometimes that like, oh, well, if you're here to help humanity, well, surely you must be like feeding the homeless or, you know, protesting for human rights, like whatever. Like, those are all wonderful things. But sometimes the way that you help humanity, the way you help your community, and the way that you help your family is by being your authentic, true self, the truest self you know how to be. Because when you shine that light, that inner light that is unique just to you, all the doors of possibility open up. People are drawn to you. They're magnetized towards you. You have influence. Because when you speak with authority. You speak with a knowingness. You speak with a clear throat chakra and an open heart chakra and a connection to the divine that is unparalleled. That's what's happening. That's what's happening here. Your energy, 7 of Earth, 7 of Pentacles. I think there is a part of you that is looking at all the things that you've invested in, which you have benefited from. There's bloom here. This is a card of investment. You've planted flowers. You've watched them come to fruition. They're beautiful. But you're coming to this point now where you're thinking, okay, is this truly what I want to do? Is this truly my path? I know that I'm good at it. I know that it brings people some modicum of joy. brings me joy. But do I want to take it further? Do I want to stop it? Do I want to go in a different direction? The Seven of Earth is like this pinnacle moment where you are looking at what you've invested in and you're kind of on the fence now. You're taking stock of what is happening in front of you and asking yourself, this is the point where we ask ourselves, do I want to continue? Do I want to cease? Where do I want to go from here? That's the energy of this card. It's clarified by the Nine of Fire or the Nine of Wands. Wands being your energy, the fire element. Nine of Wands talks about tenacity. It talks about this, like the climb, right? That we've surpassed the odds. We have risen above. We've carried so much on our backs, but we continue to carry it. We continue to thrive, but we might be a little tired. There's a soul, I feel like a soul heaviness when I look at this card, or when I feel this card for you. I feel like a heaviness. But I do want to point out these mirroring energies in all three of these cards. It's not a coincidence, right? These mirrored energies. So there's a part of you that recognizes you feel that tiredness, so does your twin. I mean, this perfectly encapsulates, I think, like what the twin flame journey can look like at times. So close and yet so far. Completely focused on our own thing and yet just within an arm's length of our twin, at least even if it's energetically. Both of you kind of rising to the challenge, but maybe just missing one another. That's very frustrating. I'm frustrated about that. That part I'm frustrated about. But you're still climbing. You're still moving forward. Because I think you know that you have to. Especially if you're a fire sign. The idea of you climbing back down without kind of reaching the top first, that's not how fire signs roll. That's not something that you do. To clarify that, curiosity of air, Page of Swords. Oh, there is a you might be asking people about your twin, because Page of Swords, curiosity of air can be about a little bit of spying, curiosity, right? Asking for information. It's interesting because there's a little fox there, but this little kid just looks like, this little kid looks out to lunch. But I feel like it's a ruse, fire signs. Because I hear in my head, who, me? Who, me? Little old me? I'm not doing anything. Meanwhile, in the background, Spirit is showing me, it's like there's something like really obvious. It's like, this is like obvious energy here. Look, there is no judgment. When I tell you that, so my twin, he doesn't really have social media. He has like LinkedIn or whatever, but he doesn't really have social media. I looked at that page every once in a while. It's not really good, especially because it's still, even if you're not in contact with your twin, doing stuff like that, like stalking them on social media, that's still energetic, an energy that you're sending to them. It's still chasing energy, right? Sometimes I couldn't help it. I'm gonna be good, like really frank with you about this, right? Because I'm trying to help twins, because like I just know how much it sucks. Sometimes it just really, like, I love him so much, but there were times when I just wanted to take these shears and cut that cord faster than the blink of an eye, because it was so painful. And I mean, maybe that could be what is happening right now. Maybe it's becoming so daunting that you just wish, I wish I could cut this cord. You cannot. You cannot. It's a sacred cord. It's a divine cord. It's from the divine. So, and I think you're just trying to figure that out right now. It's like you're asking yourself, well, what are they doing? I look at me over here. I'm doing all this climbing. What the heck are they doing? And then it's like maybe you realize like, oh, they're actually climbing too. A spirit just said maybe they're trying to keep up with you. Maybe it's difficult for them. They're doing it, but it's difficult for Air, Four Swords. Oh, wow. Okay, Spirit is giving me very specific energy. Sometimes they're not as strong as you are. They try to be, but they're not. They may look like they are on the outside, but that's something they want to show you. In the inside, this is your twin's energy. They're tired. They've got those shears out too. Sometimes they wish they could cut the cord, not because they don't care or love you, but because it's too difficult. Spirit is also showing me now, this is very specific. Spirit is showing me now, if you cut the cord, it's like you cut your own cord. You cut your own lifeline if you try to cut this connection. And I'm not here to make you feel any kind of way about that. You do what you want to do, or you feel, I mean, I understand it. That's all I'm going to say. Like, I really, really get it. There's some days that are easier than others. And I think that your twin is really needing, because there's this like sports theme here. They need a timeout. They need a timeout. Maybe that's what this separation period is for them. They just need a timeout. It's like, again, it's like back to back. It's like you're over here and this is them way on the other side of the field. Way on the other side of this field. Not looking at each other, but knowing, feeling, understanding that their twin is still present. It's really interesting because it's like here, 3 cards in a row with these shears. Number 11, balance. This is the Justice card of the Major Arcana, Libra energy. See those shears on the ground? Only this time they're cutting or pruning flowers. Flowers over here and flowers over here. Karmic balance, karmic justice. Things being in equilibrium, the equalizer. Here it is. Spirit is acknowledging that. I think your twin is coming to the realization that they might have said some things or done some things that they're regretting. I feel regret energy with your twin. You see how it's like we've cut flowers over here and they're strewn about next to them. Did they take more than their fair share? Not to be hurtful. Not to be hurtful. Maybe that was their trigger or trauma response. Like if you grew up poor, okay, I'm getting a very specific example to give to you about this issue. It's like when you grow up in a family where you have a lot of siblings and mom or dad put a plate in front of you of like really delicious food, but they're giving me macaroni and cheese for, okay, just go with me on this one. Imagine you have a tray or a casserole dish, macaroni and cheese. You know, there's always the like crusty, crunchy, a little slightly burned, cheesy parts on the side that are so delicious. They're more delicious than maybe the gooey center in the middle, right? It's all mac and cheese. If you grow up in a family of where you have a lot of siblings, your siblings are going to go straight for the most delicious part. And you might find yourself kind of like pushing your siblings back. No, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Go for the most delicious part and like eat it before anybody can take it off your plate. If you grow up as an only child where you have no competition, you're not fighting any siblings for that cheesy part. So you might save that one for last. You might save that last yummy bite of that crispy cheese. So Spirit is kind of showing me that there is something in your twins' past where they had to kind of fight. They had to fight for all the best parts. You might not have had that. Or like take it as it resonates. This might be your energy. Twins often mirror one another, so this could be your energy. You had to fight for all the best parts. But when you're dealing with your twin is not trying to take the best parts from you. It might feel that way sometimes with other people, but your twin is not trying to take anything from you. Your twin loves you, but there's something that triggers that response. Like, I got to take all the best parts before it's taken away from me. The thing about it is, it's like, and now I'm here left alone with it. I thought that I needed to take this, but I didn't. My twin would have given it to me willingly. I need a clarifier, please, for the twin. Curiosity of Earth. Page of Earth. Yeah, see? My twin would have willingly given it to me. You see? This is you, fire signs. I mean, I really, I think this is you wanting to give this to your twin. That they're in this energy now. And now maybe they're thinking that they took too much. Now they feel guilty about that. And like they can't face you now. Here you are being so sweet and just like wanting to give. And here they are just like, I've taken too much. I don't deserve it. It's so frustrating. I'm frustrated for you. Okay. It's frustrating. Or vice versa. They could be frustrated. I could be frustrated for your twin. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. But this is the push-pull. This is the push-pull. We don't want to be in competition with our twin. We want to be in energetic harmony. I think in the 5D, you're already there. And I just heard the spirit is tunneling my left ear. Like hardcore. It feels like it just got silent all of a sudden in my left ear, just real silent. I wonder if that's your twin's energy. I never thought that before. I feel that right now. Like your twin in the 5D. I feel a lot of guilt with your twin. That's something that they have to work through. They're trying, though. They really are. They're trying to come towards you as an equal. The connection. I mean, this is really beautiful. 4 of fire, 4 of wands. The 1111 card, the card of twin flames. It's 2 cards of twin flames that you got in this reading. It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. It's poetic. 4 of fire talks about creating a firm foundation. Can be a card of portal energy. where we walk through into another kind of consciousness. All of a sudden I just heard, hear ye, like a big announcement. Hear ye, hear ye. I don't know if there's a big announcement that's about to be made. I don't know, maybe you both are kind of ready to talk again. Clarified here by the witch, number 2. It's the high priestess in the major arcana. Here's that mirroring energy. And look at that. Here's the offering of the flowers. High priestess talks about really being in tune with our psychic ability, our intuition, connection with spirit, bringing that into the 3D. It's this like deep clairvoyance. The moon, it's Pisces energy. It's the moon in the background. There could be some things that are still slightly mysterious to you. Or there could be something relevant towards the next full moon. You might hear from your twin by the next full moon. Can I get a clarifier? What does your twin want to say to you? 2 cards came out. Emergence, number 20. This is the Judgment card. They are communing with nature, that's for sure. All of these wooded areas and these mushrooms. They're communing with nature, and they're making some decisions. Velocity of air. This is the Knight of Swords. A message is coming. This is the messenger. Lots to communicate. I think you're going to hear from your twin sooner than you think. It could be in a 3D, or it could be in your dreams, or in astral projection, the astral realm. They're going to reveal a decision that they've made. And Spirit's advice to you is to just approach whatever they have to say with an open and loving heart. Because you love yourself, right? Whatever they say to you, just take it with an open and loving heart. Because whatever they have to say does not diminish your own self-love. So that's your reading, fire signs. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, twins.